This is the new shipment interface that significantly improves the user experience in terms of how users define shipment for the DoD receiving report, comparing to the DoD's own web-based interface. It is a dramatically improved user experience.
Yes. So now the details. It's a three-step process. First, the user has to define the contract line items, basically what is being shipped. And then the second step is defining the packaging structure, the pallet cases and item packaging. And then the third step is dragging the items defined in the first step over into the packaging, creating the shipment itself. So let's start with the first step. The concept for this interface is using the so-called context menus, which are accessible through the right mouse button. So anything you want to do with a certain item on the screen, you click with the right mouse button and the menu pops up appropriate for that item. So for here, we can add a new line item. So let's do that. Fill in all the information. Actually, I'm gonna just put in some dummy data, but they could use the real information. So that's the first line item. Let's add to this line item the UID information. It's possible to define line items without UID information, but the UID information here it demonstrates better how the interface works. So enable the UID information here. That enables you to add UIDs in groups, and the groups are defined if a new group is defined if the UID type is different. So for UID one kind, let's do one, and under the UID group you can define the UIDs themselves. And I made so the users can import this information from any spreadsheet or something and then cut and paste it here. So for example, I cut and pasted our UID numbers here, click add, and there you go. All the UID numbers are defined here. This window is a scrolling window because if the list gets too long, if there's multiple line items or too many UIDs defined, these will eventually be needed to dragged over to the right. And so to keep the windows together next to each other, we just made them draggable. And you can define more UID groups after this one. Let's make this UID 2 kind, and let's define UID numbers for this as well. I will also again do the cut and paste version. You could also type this in here, and let's add them under here. So now we have two UID groups in this line item with different UIDs in them. So just for the heck of it, let's create a new line item and do a new line item after this one. Let's call it something else. Let's add some UIDs, enable UID information here too. Notice if you change the description here in the UID type, it updates the header for this UID type, and that actually is the same for the header information. If you change the header for something else, it updates the line item number. But let's change it back to 002. Oops, I'm here, and okay, let's type in some UID numbers here just by hand. Okay, let's add them here. Okay, so this is how you define line items and the UID information on the left pane.